good on YouTube. Are we on 25, 24?
Yeah, I think so. Here, you can do that one too if you want.
Okay.
That way we got both platforms. We can use some people. Father in heaven, help us. We could use some people. We could use some help. It's not mine, it's yours. Tell me what to do. Although if you ask me, I'm going to say help us with times of trouble. You know what my troubles are. I just ask for help. Amen.
Amen.
Cut that light on. Might have to cut the heat on. It's kind of cold in here.
All right. All right. Thanks so much for joining Truth Inspired. We are doing a Bible reading. We are in the book of Proverbs, and I believe we're on chapter 24.
Be thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be that with them, not of that by for. For this their heart is that study destruction, and their lips that talk of mischief. Though wisdom is of that house builded, and by this understanding it is established. And by the knowledge shall the chambers be filled with all precious and pleasant riches. A wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increaseth strength. 4. By wise counsel thou shalt make thy war, and in multitude of counselors there is safety. Wisdom is too high for a fool. He openeth not his mouth in the gate. He that deviseth to do evil shall be called a mischievous person. Of that now thought by foolishness is sin, and that scorner is that abomination to men. If thou faint in the day of adversary, of thy strength is small. If thou forbear to deliver of them that are drawn unto death, and those that are ready to be slain. If thou sayest, Behold, we know not of this, that doth not he that pondereth the heart consider it. And he that keepeth thy soul, doth not he know it? And shall not he render to every man according to his works? My son, eat thou honey, because it is good, and honeycomb which is sweet to thy taste. So shall the knowledge of wisdom be unto the soul, and when thou hast found it, then there shall be a reward, and thy expectation shall not be cut off. Lay not wait, O wicked man, against the dwelling of the righteous, spoil not his resting place. For a just man falleth 7 times, and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. Rejoice not when the enemy falleth, and let not thine heart be glad with he that stumbleth, lest the Lord see it, and it displease him, and he turn away his wrath from him. Fret not thyself because of evil men, neither be thou envious at the wicked, for there shall be no reward to the evil man. The candle of the wicked shall be put out. My son, fear thou the Lord and King, and meddle not with them that are given to charge of that change. For calamity now is that will rise suddenly of those who know it, the ruin of them both. But this things of those being of the belonging wise is not of good to have respect of persons in judgment. He that saith to the wicked, Thou art righteous, him shall the people curse nations, shall abhor of him. But to them that rebuke him shall be delight, and a good blessing shall come upon them. Every man shall kiss his lips that giveth the right answer. Prepare thy work without, and make it fit for thyself in the field, and afterwards build thine house. Be not a witness against thy neighbor without cause, and deceive not without thy lips. Say not, I will do so to him as he hath done to me. I will render to the men according to his work. I went by the field of the slothful, and by the vineyard of the man void of understanding. And lo, it was all grown over with thorns and needles of that come by that over the face thereof, as the stone wall thereof was broken down. Then I saw and considered it well. I looked upon it, and received instruction. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man.
These also are parables of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied out. It is the glory of God to conceal the word, and the glory of kings to search out the speech. The heaven above and the earth beneath, and the heart of kings is unsearchable. Take away the rust from silver, and there shall come forth a most pure vessel. Take away wickedness from the face of the king, and his throne shall be established with justice. Appear not glorious before the king, and stand not in the place of great men. For it is better that it should be said to thee, Come up hither, than that thou shouldst be humbled before the prince. The things which thy eyes have seen, utter not hastily in a quarrel, lest afterward thou mayest not be able to make amends when thou hast dishonored thy friend. Treat thy cause with thy friend, and discover not the secret to a stranger, lest he insult over thee when he hath heard it, and cease not to upbraid thee. Grace and friendship deliver a man. Keep these for thyself, lest thou fall under reproach. To speak a word in due time is like apples of gold on beds of silver. As an earring of gold and a bright pearl, so is he that reproveth the wise in the obedient ear. As the cold of snow in the time of harvest, so is a faithful messenger to him that send him, for he refresheth his soul. As clouds and wind, when no rain followeth, so is the man that boasteth and doth not fulfill his promises. By patience a prince shall be appeased, and a soft tongue shall break hardness. Thou hast found honey, eat what is sufficient for thee, lest being glutted therewith thou vomit it up. Withdraw thy foot from the house of thy neighbor, lest having his fill he hate thee. A man that beareth false witness against his neighbor is like a dart and a sword and a sharp arrow. To trust an unfaithful man in the time of trouble is like a rotten tooth and weary foot, and one that looseth his garment in cold weather. As vinegar upon nitre, so is he that singeth songs to a very evil heart. As a moth doth by a garment, and a worm by the wood, so the sadness of a man consumeth the heart. If thy enemy be hungry, give him to eat. If he thirst, give him water to drink. For thou shalt heap hot coals upon his head, and the Lord will reward thee. The north wind driveth away rain, and doth a sad countenance a backbiting tongue. It is better to sit in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman and in a common house. As cold water to a thirsty soul, so is good tidings from a far country. A just man falling down before the wicked is as a fountain troubled with the foot, and a corrupted spring. It is not good for a man to eat much honey, so he that is a searcher of majesty shall be overwhelmed by glory. As a city that lieth open and is not compassed with walls, so is a man that cannot refrain his own spirit in speaking.
As snow in summer and rain in harvest, so honor is not seemly for a fool. As the bird by wandering, as the swallow of flying, this the curse causeless shall not come. A whip for the horse, the bridle for the ass, a rod for the fool's back. Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou also be like unto him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his consult of that conceit, that come by sending a message by the hand of a fool cutteth off the feet, and drinketh damage. The legs of the lame are not equal, so is a parable in the mouth of fools. As he that bindeth a stone in a sling, so is he that giveth honor to a fool. As a thorn goeth up to this hand of the drunkard, so is a parable in the mouth of fools. The great God that formed all things both reward the fool and reward transgressors. As a dog returns to his vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly. Seest thou a man wise in his own conceit? There is more hope of a fool than of him. The slothful man saith, There is a lion in the way, a lion in the streets. As the door turneth upon the hinges, so doth the slothful upon his bed. The slothful hideth his hands in his bosom, and degree by this bring it again to his mouth. The sluggard is wiser in his own conceit than 7 men that can render a lesson. He that passeth by and meddleth with strife belonging not to him is like one that taketh a dog by the ears. As a madman who casteth firebrands arrows at death, so is the man that deceiveth his neighbor, and saith, Am not I in sport? Where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no talebearer of that be of strife that come by that cease. As coals are burning coals, wood to fire, and contentness of that men of those that kindle strife, the words of a talebearer of that come by wounds of they that go down by innermost parts of the belly. Now burning lips of the wicked heart are like a potsherd of that covered and silver dross. He that hateth disassembleth, with now this that come by that laid deceit upon him. With the speaking fair, believe him not, for there is 7 abominations in his heart. Whose hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. Whose diggeth a pit shall falleth therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted, by it the flattering mouth forth worketh ruin. Boast not thyself of morrow, for thou knowest not what day may bring forth. Let another man praise thee, and not thine own mouth, a stranger, not thine own lips. A stone is heavy, and stand weightly of that fool's wrath, heavier than them both. Wrath is cruel, anger is outrageous, but who is able to stand before envy? Open rebuke is better than secret love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. The full soul loatheth an honeycomb, but to hungry soul every bitter thing is sweet. As a bird wandereth forth of her nest, so the man that wandereth from his place. Ointment and perfume rejoice in the heart, so doth sweetness of a man's friend by heartly counsel. Thine own friend and thy father's friend forsake not, neither go into thy brother's house in the day of calamity, for better is a neighbor that is near than a brother far off. My son, be wise, and make my heart glad, that I may answer him that reproacheth me. A prudent man foreseeth the evil, and hideth himself, but the simple pass on, and are punished. Take his garment that is surely for a stranger, and take a pledge of him for a strange woman. He that blesseth his friend with a loud voice, rising early in the morning, it shall be counted a curse to him. A continual dropping in a very rainy day, and a continuous woman are alike. Whosoever hideth her, hideth the wind, and the ointment of his right hand, which breath of that to him. Of this itself, by that sharpened, the iron that sharpened iron is the man that sharpened the countenance of his friend. Whose keepeth the fig tree shall eat the fruit thereof, so he that waiteth on this master shall be honored. As in water face answer to face, so the heart of man to man. Hell and destruction are never full, so the eyes of man are never satisfied. As for gold, so is a man to his praise. Though thou shouldst bray a fool in a mortar among wheat with the pestle, of that yet knowest not that be a foolish, of that depart from him. Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks, and look well to thy herds. Of this that riches of those that be that now are not forever. And doth the crown endure to every generation? The hay appeareth, and the tender grass showeth itself, and herbs of the mountains are gathered. The lambs are for thy clothing, the goats are the price of the field. And thou shalt have goat's milk enough for thy food, for the food of thy household, and for the maintenance for thy maidens.
The wicked man fleeth when no man pursueth, but the just, bold as a lion, shall be without dread. For the sins of the land many are the princes thereof, and for the wisdom of a man and the knowledge of those things that are said, the life of the prince shall be prolonged. A poor man that oppresseth the poor is like a violent shower, which bringeth a famine. They that forsake the law praise the wicked man. They that keep it are incensed against him. Evil men think not on judgment, but they that seek after the Lord take notice of all things. Better is the poor man walking in his simplicity than the rich in crooked ways. He that keepeth the law is as a wise son, but he that feedeth gluttons shameth his father. He that heapeth together riches by usury and loan gathereth them for him that will be bountiful to the poor. He that turneth away his ears from hearing the law, his prayer shall be an abomination. He that deceiveth the just in a wicked way shall fall down in his own destruction, and the upright shall possess his goods. The rich man seemeth to himself wise, but the poor man that is prudent shall search him out. In the joy of the just there is a great glory. When the wicked reign, men are ruined. He that hideth his sins shall not prosper, but he that shall confess and forsake them shall obtain mercy. Blessed is the man that is always fearful, but he that is hardened in mind shall fall into evil. As a roaring lion and a hungry bear, so is a wicked prince over the poor people. A prince void of prudence shall oppress many by calumny, but he that hateth covetousness shall prolong his days. A man that doth violence to the blood of a person, if he flee even to the pit, no man will save him. He that walketh uprightly shall be saved. He that is perverse in his ways shall fall at once. He that tilleth the ground shall be filled with bread, but he that followeth idleness shall be filled with poverty. A faithful man shall be much praised, but he that maketh haste to be rich shall not be innocent. He that hath respect to a person in judgment doth not well. Such a man, even for a morsel of bread, forsaketh the truth. A man that maketh haste to be rich and envieth others is ignorant that poverty shall come upon him. He that rebuketh a man shall afterward find favor with him, more than he that by a flattering tongue deceiveth him. He that stealeth anything from his father or from his mother, and saith, This is no sin, is the partaker of a murderer. He that boasteth and puffeth up himself stirreth up quarrels, but he that trusteth in the Lord shall be healed. He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool, and he that walketh wisely, he shall be saved. He that giveth to the poor shall not want. He that despiseth his entreaty shall suffer indigence. When the wicked rise up, men shall hide themselves. When they perish, the just shall be multiplied. The man that with a stiff neck despiseth him that reproveth him shall suddenly be destroyed, and health shall not follow him. When just men increase, the people shall rejoice, and when the wicked shall bear rule, the people shall mourn. A man that loveth wisdom rejoiceth his father, but he that maintaineth harlots shall squander away his substance. A just king setteth up the land, a covetous man shall destroy it. A man that speaketh to his friends with flattering and dissembling words spreadeth a net for his feet. A snare shall entangle the wicked man when he sinneth, and the just shall praise and rejoice. The just taketh notice of the cause of the poor. The wicked is void of knowledge. Corrupt men bring a city to ruin, but wise men turn away wrath. If a wise man contend with a fool, whether he be angry or laugh, he shall find no rest. Bloodthirsty men hate the upright, but just men seek his soul. A fool uttereth all his mind. A wise man deferreth and keepeth till afterwards. A prince that gladly heareth lying words hath all his servants wicked. The poor man and the creditor have met one another. The Lord is the enlightener of them both. The king that judgeth the poor in truth, his throne shall be established forever. The rod and reproof give wisdom, but the child that is left to his own will bringeth his mother to shame. When the wicked are multiplied, crime shall be multiplied, but the just shall see their downfall. Instruct thy son, and he shall refresh thee, and shall give delight to thy soul. When prophecy shall fail, the people shall be scattered abroad, but he that keepeth the law is blessed. A slave will not be corrected by words, because he understandeth what thou sayest, and will not answer. Hast thou seen a man hasty to speak? Folly is rather to be looked for than his amendment. He that nourisheth his servant delicately from his childhood, and afterward shall find him stubborn. A passionate man provoketh quarrels, and he that is easily stirred up to wrath shall be more prone to sin. Humiliation followeth the proud, and glory shall uphold the humble of spirit. He that is a partaker with a thief hateth his own soul. He heareth one putting him to his oath, and discovereth not. He that feareth man shall quickly fall, but he that trusteth in the Lord shall be set on high. Many seek the face of the prince, but the judgment of everyone cometh forth from the Lord. The just abhor the wicked man, and the wicked loathe them that are in the right way. The son that keepeth the word shall be free from destruction.
The words of Agur the son of Jacob, which is that be prophesied by this man, spoke by Ithiel, which is that even of the Ithiel and Ukal. Surely I am more brutish than any man, have not the understanding of a man. I neither learned wisdom nor have the knowledge of the holy. Who hath ascended up into heaven, or descended? Who hath gathered the wind in his fist? Who hath bound the waters in a garment? Who hath established all the ends of the earth? What is his name, and what is his son's name, if thou canst tell? Every word of God is pure. He is a shield unto them, and put their trust in him. And thou not unto his words, lest he reprove them, and thou be found a liar. Two things that I have required of thee, deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me, lest I be full and deny thee and say, Who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my God in vain. Accuse not a servant unto his master, lest he curse thee and thou be found guilty. There is a generation that curseth their father, and doth not bless their mother. There is a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness. There is a generation, oh how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. There is a generation whose teeth are as swords, and their jaw teeth as knives, to devour the poor from off the earth, and the needy from among men. The horseflesh of that be of two daughters, of that crying, Give, give. In this now there are three things that are never satisfied. Yea, four things, say not, it is enough. The grave and the barren womb, the earth that is not filled with water, and the fire that saith not, it is enough. The eye that mocketh at his father, and despiseth to obey his mother. The ravens of the valley shall pick it out, and the young eagles shall eat it. There be three things which are too wonderful for me, yea, four, which I know not. The way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent unto a rock, the way of a ship in the midst of the sea, and the way of a man with a maid. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth away her mouth, and saith, I have done no wickedness. For three things the earth is disquieted of that be of they that come forth this now which cannot bear. For a servant, when this reigneth, is as this a fool when he is filled with meat. For an odious woman of that she is married, and a handmaid that is her heir to her mistress. There be four things which are little upon the earth, but they are exceedingly wise. The ants are a people not strong, yet they prepare their meat in the summer. The conies are that but feeble folk, yet they are their houses, and this now the rocks. The locusts have no king, yet go forth all them by bands. The spider taketh hold with her hands, and it is in kings' palaces. There be three things which go well, yea, four are coming and going. A lion which is strongest among beasts, and turneth not away from any. A greyhound, and he-goat also, and a king against whom there is no rising up. If thou hast done foolishly in lifting up thyself, or if thou hast thought evil, lay thine eye unto thy mouth. Surely the churning of milk bringeth forth butter, and the wringing of the nose bringeth forth blood. So the forcing of wrath bringeth forth strife.
The words of King Lemuel, the vision wherewith his mother instructed him. What, O my beloved? What, O the beloved of my womb? What, O the beloved of my vows? Give not thy substance to women, and thy riches to destroy kings. Give not to kings, O Lemuel. Give not wine to kings, because there is no secret where drunkenness reigneth. And they that drink and forget judgments and pervert the cause of the children of the poor. Give strong drink to them that are sad, and wine to them that are grieved in mind. Let them drink and forget their want, and remember their sorrow no more. Open thy mouth for the dumb, and for the causes of all the children that pass. Open thy mouth, decree that which is just, and do justice to the needy and poor. Who shall find the valiant woman? Far and from the uttermost coast is the price of her. The heart of her husband trusteth in her, and he shall have no need of spoils. She will render him good and not evil all the days of his life. She hath sought wool and flax, and hath wrought by the counsel of her husband, of her hands. She is like the merchant ship. She bringeth her bread from afar, and she hath risen in the night, and given a prey to her households, and victuals to her maidens. She hath considered a field and bought it. With the fruits of her hands she hath planted a vineyard. She hath girded her loins with strength, and hath strengthened her arm. She hath tasted and seen that her traffic is good. Her lamp shall not be put out in the night. She hath put out her hand to strong things, and her fingers have taken hold of the spindle. She hath opened her hand to the needy, and stretched out her hands to the poor. She shall not fear for her house in the cold of snow, for all her domestics are clothed with double garments. She hath made for herself clothing of tapestry. Fine linen and purple is her covering. Her husband is honorable in the gates when he sitteth among the senators of the land. She made fine linen and sold it, and delivered a girdle to the Canaanite. Strength and beauty are her clothing, and she shall laugh in the latter day. She hath opened her mouth to wisdom, and the law of clemency is on her tongue. She hath looked well to the paths of her house, and hath not eaten her bread idle. Her children rose up and called her blessed, her husband, and he praised her. Many daughters have gathered together riches. Thou hast surpassed them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. The woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her works praise her in the gates.
Lord, help us to learn from all these Proverbs, all the Psalms, all the books of the Bible. You got every one of them